So, Ray, one study conducted by the organization discipleship.org states that only about 5% of the American churches are actively making disciples. Why do you suppose the American church has struggled so deeply with intentional disciple making?
Yeah, that's a good question. Back in 2013, there was a book written called Discipleship by Jim Putman and Bobby Harrington. And in that book, they described four different church models that were attempting to fulfill the Great Commission. And yet somehow the mission and the methodology wasn't getting the job done. And so we could ask ourselves, which one of those models maybe are we in right now? The first model was it was called the home church or the organic model, which was more about the fellowship and the relationships in the body. The problem with the methodology of all of these is that they're still trying to build a huge church. And it was never about building a huge church. It was always about building disciple makers. And so that alone gives it a whole different approach. Because if you're thinking size, numbers, masses, crowds, well, you realize that, yes, Jesus did preach to masses, but he didn't disciple the masses. His approach was more concerned with personally investing in those close to him that he could train, disciple, teach, which is a bit different than modern ministry the way we do it today. And so I think that's the catch. And if you're going to do the pastoral educational model, then the emphasis is knowledge, right? The transfer of information. And you and I both know that you can have the information but never experience transformation. And so it falls short. In the attractional model, that people are having their felt needs met and they come every Sunday. It's like, oh, I can't wait till next Sunday. And the church is always trying to figure out how can we do it better, right? And so there's this mindset of what's in it for me, right? And there's an expectation that goods and services are provided for them, right? If it were a business or something like that. And of course, that again, that's not the function of the church. Now, if you're looking at the third model, which is the community engagement model, it tends to undermine the value and significance of fellowship and corporate worship, discipleship, evangelism, because the ministry is simply addressing the social injustices that exist, right? The world is broken. But you and I both know that only the gospel can really change that. And the gospel has to be applied in day-to-day living by those that are claiming it. And so I think that has been the experience. The churches have tried different models, but we have to get back to the model. What was the model that Jesus used, right? And his was simple. It was, let's make disciples. He wasn't trying to go build a church. He was making disciples. And in the process, he realized that he never said, go teach them to explain this or to know that. He said, teach them to obey, right? And so that emphasis alone has somehow been watered down or been left out. And so we've got to get back to the simplicity of the gospel message, as well as the response being, by faith, I trust in who he is, what he's done for me, and I want to surrender to his lordship in my life as my Savior as well.